Apinke Effiong from Eco Botanicals is going to be joining us. Hello Facebook, hello YouTube. I hope everybody is happy and well. I was just saying to our friends on Instagram that today we're going to be doing a deep dive into natural oils for the skin. And I have to say, this is a subject that is so close to my heart, many of you may know. 30 years ago, I wrote this book. It's called Vital Oils. It's my first book. And it was all about basically using oils on the inside and out. So oils for beauty on the skin, obviously, oils in the diet, things like essential fatty acids, talking about the importance of EVU, extra virgin olive oil, fish oils, talking about how fat and oil is good for us, the healthy kind, not polyunsaturated or trans fats, artificially hydrogenated fats, but good healthy fats. And it's interesting to see the whole pendulum swing back, actually. So we've gone from that whole kind of low fat era, which was when I wrote this book, really is kind of counter to that, to realizing that sugar is the demon and not fats and oils, because we need those. We need those internally to create hormones and to create healthy bodies and brains. And we also need them on the skin as well, because the skin has its own natural oil, sebum. And, you know, I'm just mentioning that today, not only because I love oils and I'm talking about oils. Thank you, Lisa's very kind. She said, you must have been a baby, Liz. Yeah, I was. I wrote it when I was in kindergarten, clearly. I wish, but thank you. Because here in Italy, where I am at the moment at my family's place, I found this in the bookshelves. Look at this. This is Vital Oils by Liz Earle, translated into Italian. I won't attempt to read it to you. My Italian accent is not good. Guida agli oli vitale. There you go. Guide to Vital Oils. Right, let's see if we can get joined by our lovely guest, Apinke. I'm so looking forward to this, because this is most definitely one of my favourite subjects. Apinke, I think if you request to join me on your Instagram, then I can connect you. And we do have a fantastic Liz Loves, obviously. This is her brand. It's called Eco Botanicals, spelled E-K-O, Eco Botanicals. And she's got some really lovely things and a really interesting backstory, because her grandfather was a botanist at Kew, and she has a West African heritage. And of course, I know from my time in East Africa that it is absolutely one of the key places to source amazing tropical oils. Obviously, things grow naturally in the equator, which don't grow here, so we get things like, you know, avocados over there. You have all sorts of extraordinary oils, which Apinke has used in some of her amazing products, including, there's a Radiance botanical oil, which is really, really good, and this one called Nefertiti, which I've been using. I absolutely love it. So just to say, before we get going with Apinke, she's given us 15% off everything on her website if you want to use Liz Loves, okay? All in capitals, all one word, Liz Loves, and that's Eco Botanicals, and her website is ecoskincare.co.uk. That's eco spelled E-K-O, ecoskincare.co.uk, and her Instagram is Eco Botanicals, E-K-O Botanicals, if you want to follow her on Instagram. And here she is. So let's hope that the connection. Yeah, I think using oils on the skin, particularly during the summer, you know, if you've been out in the sun, you've had a little bit more UV rays, and, you know, we can get more exposed to sun damage and pigmentation. Hi, Apinke, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, it's so nice to connect with you. Now, sweetheart, you are on your side, so you might just need to turn your phone round. Can you turn it round so it's kind of that way? Yes, that's better. Getting there. Where are you talking to us from? Where are you?
Well, I'm just outside London, Hampden.
Are you? Okay. And I was just saying, whoops, I'm just going to turn my volume up a bit so everybody can hear you. I was just saying to our friends here that you've got a really interesting backstory, haven't you? Because am I right in saying that your grandfather was one of the earliest of botanists at Kew?
Yes, my great-grandfather.
Your great-grandfather?
Yes. So my great-grandfather was a lover of nature. He was a botanist, and his first job actually was at Kew Gardens.
Really?
And he was sent to Nigeria, and he just fell in love with Nigeria. I didn't know much about him, but in my journey on launching Eco Botanicals, I then went to Kew and started doing a lot of research. And he'd been all over, Nigeria, just looking for plants and fungi. And he was just so immersed. Yeah.
What an inspiration, and what a legacy, and how amazing that you've been able to use that inspiration. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your journey. Did you have issues with your skin? Is that why you kind of turned to using natural oils?
Yes. Well, I had, growing up, I had the usual acne as a teenager, hormonal fluctuations when I was pregnant, which gave me a lot of inflammation. But also for my skin tone, I just always found that what I used along the way in my 20s and 30s, when I could afford a bit more expensive skincare, was just very drying. It wasn't dealing with the discoloration I had in my skin. But I just continued, trialing different brands. But nothing actually was giving me the results that I looked for. And then as I started becoming more, I would say, greener in my lifestyle a few years ago, I then started reading ingredients more carefully. And, I just became a little bit discouraged, with all the things used over the years, all the big brands, and just not, seeing the results. I have always loved flowers as well, just like my great-grandfather. So as a child, you'd find me, in hibiscus bushes in Lagos, collecting petals. And, I trained as an economist, and I worked in banking and finance for about 12 years.
Oh, my goodness.
But I found my way back into floristry. I opened a flower shop when I was in Nigeria, yes, which I ran for about 10 years.
Oh, my goodness. You've done so much. I think you do not look old enough to have spent 12 years as an economist in banking, run a floristry shop in Lagos for 10 years. I mean, you look about, 20. So your oils are amazing, clearly.
Thank you. I'm 46.
You're 46? Wow.
I'm 46. Yes. So yes, that's my journey. So I then started, mixing things from home, and I could just, people were commenting, "Oh, your skin looks amazing," and that was how it started. It was oils. I started first of all with just formulating a little homemade recipe. I did some, research, and that was how my journey started about 3 years ago. So it was during the lockdown. I then did a course. I did an organic skincare course in London, and and that's it's just been, it's been one thing after another since then.
Brilliant. Well, I know you've had amazing. Been trying your oils since coming out and writing books like this, and obviously having built a skincare brand in the past myself, I know a little bit about oils for the skin, and I am super impressed. And I think it's really interesting what you say about your journey with acne and problem skin and pigmentation, because I think a lot of people think that oils are only for drier, more mature skin. But actually, the natural oil on the skin, sebum, is so compatible with oil. And so, for example, you've got the cleansing oil, which is so good, which, if you've got oilier prone skin, or you've got somebody in the family, a troubled skin youngster, for example, they shouldn't be afraid of oils, should they?
No, not at all. Not at all. My daughter uses the oils.
Yeah.
She's got very sensitive skin, so I tend to, so she loves that as well. She was very skeptical as well. I was also skeptical when I moved into oil cleansing, when I started trialing and using oils to cleanse my skin, but I've never looked back.
No. I love it because it doesn't strip the skin at all. It doesn't upset the pH balance. It's really, really good, especially if your skin is a bit sensitive.
It's because of the oils that I have chosen. So we use green tea as the main foundation oil, which is camellia flower. And it's a beautiful oil that's full of polyphenols, which is a great antioxidant. So it really helps with environmental oxidation and all those things from pollution and sun damage. But it's a beautiful oil because it also just sinks really quickly into your skin.
I can feel that. It's so light. I don't know if you can see that, but there's no greasy trace on my hand at all. There's just a lovely sheen. And that's just the cleansing oil. It smells amazing too. The smell. It's really light and fresh and delicious.
And the rose geranium. You've got the lemon and then a sweet smell from roses and geranium.
Well, the rose geranium, as many people will know, is absolutely one of my favourites. In fact, the very first piece of jewellery ever designed was based on the pelargonium leaf, the rose geranium, because that's where the oil is, isn't it? In the leaf. It's not in the flowers.
Yeah. Yes. So all those beautiful ingredients. Then we have castor oil as well, and sesame seed. And castor oil, what you just said now, castor oil is an oil that really sinks deep into the dermis, below the skin where the sweat glands are, and it sinks very quickly, which is again what you want in a cleanser, because it doesn't stay on your skin for too long. Yeah. And it takes out all the things we don't need, but it leaves the oil that we need, especially as we get older and our oils decline. Yeah. And our skin generally becomes drier. So what you find is you use the cleanser. I use it just once. And I just use a few pumps on my hands. I just rub it together, and then I just inhale it, and then I just, massage around my face. Oh,
I wish you could smell it. It's so good. It's so uplifting, and smells are so powerful. Yeah. The other ones that smell simply sensational, and I'd love you to talk us through these if anybody's looking at your website wondering which ones to get, are the radiance oils. You've got Makida and Nefertiti, which come in these really great little glass bottles. They smell fantastic. And when you look at the ingredients, oh my goodness, the oils that are in here, and these are really expensive oils,
Yeah, they are really premium oils. And they're really luxurious oils. And they're so rich and so dense in nutrients.
So which oil does which? Talk us through the two, because you've got Nefertiti and Makida.
Makida is a face oil.
Makida, okay, this one.
It's a serum. And Nefertiti is a water-based serum.
Ah, okay. So who should use which then, do you think?
Okay, so you have to use, because they all work synergistically. You use your cleanser and then you use your serum to hydrate. And then you use your serum when your skin is still damp. So you could use a floral water or a toner if you want to as an additional step. But it's quite important that your skin is damp before you use your serum, which is Nefertiti. And then you use your oil to seal in all the hydration.
Okay, so it's two steps, Nefertiti and then Makida. Got you.
And Makida. And they're all named after ancient African queens.
Love that. Tell us, so Nefertiti, many of us will have heard the name. And she was famous for her amazing headdress, which you've put on here. Tell us about Nefertiti. What was her story?
Well, Nefertiti was the mother of Tutankhamun, which was very famous. And she was the first queen in Egypt. And it was really unusual for a woman to be a queen. Actually, when I was formulating the brand, I found out that queens were actually buried with their husbands. So there was an exception made for her. She was very close to her husband, and she was very intelligent. She was very wise, and so she changed a lot in terms of culture and display.
Amazing.
But these were men they had to do a lot of balancing in those days, right? Yeah. And the beauty of the brand is to tell their story and to honor them, as well, because we did have very, very brave women in Africa. That were needed.
So she outlived her husband then. She survived. When her husband died, she didn't have to die, get killed and get incarcerated, entombed with him. She could then carry on as a royal because she was so wise and brilliant. Wow, let's talk about smashing barriers all that time ago. It's amazing, those trailblazing women. And as you say, the heritage they leave behind, the inspiration. down through the generations. So this is really good. So this is a serum. So I hope you saw me put it on the skin. So it doesn't look like an oil. It looks like this.
Yes. So Nefertiti is like a multitasking serum, and it's it does about 5 or 6 different things. So
love it, like women do.
Yeah. Very hydrated, very cooling because it has aloe vera as its foundation, which it has, is full of skin healing properties.
Love aloe vera.
It also has hyaluronic acid.
Brilliant.
And it has hydrogen, which moisturizes the skin, and also has a lot of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. So it's really, really, it does like 6 different things. It has vitamin C from bilberry and blackberry and blueberry. And then we have your hydration from hyaluronic acid, aloe vera, and hibiscus. Then it has borage, which is a very moisturizing oil, which is grown locally in the UK. It's very rich in omega fatty acids there, borage. It's really, really beautiful. It's a really beautiful, rich, luxurious oil, which we need as we get older.
Yeah.
We need that that extra help. And then it has a lot of plant actives, which are natural. So the acids, that help with exfoliation and collagen synthesis, that help to speed that process up, which declines as we age.
Yeah.
Obviously, as our estrogen levels begin to fall, that affects the collagen production and synthesis. And so we just need a little more help. And so what I've done is I've used about 5 or 6 different natural plant-based sources to replace the acids that that will enable collagen synthesis to be sped up again. So we've got lactic acid from maize in there. We've got white willowback, which has salicylic acid.
Yeah.
So all these are natural plants. They're not lab produced or synthetic. And so they wouldn't irritate your skin at all, and can be used for sensitive skin.
Lovely. And the vitamin C, sorry to interrupt you, but just to go back there, the vitamin C from the plant extracts, that's so good, isn't it, for pigmentation and for evening out skin tones. So if you are plagued by age spots or you're noticing them, particularly come up in the summer months, then vitamin C, so many aestheticians and beauty therapists will talk about using vitamin C in a serum.
Yes. It's vitamin C from blackberry and blueberry, so it helps to brighten your skin, which, where you just begin to notice that your skin is a bit looking duller and, but we also have niacinamide, which is vitamin B in there.
Love niacinamide.
Still cocktail, yes.
Gosh, there's so much.
Vitamin B has been scientifically proven, to help with discoloration.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. So just for those asking questions, I can see on Instagram. So the serum is used before your moisturiser, and then you have your moisturising oil, which is Makida. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this another African queen on here? Who was Makida? I mean, I have heard of Nefertiti, but I've not heard of Makida.
Makida is the Queen of Sheba. That's just her.
Oh, is she the Queen of Sheba? I didn't know that.
Queen of Sheba that met Solomon.
Yes.
And then they settled, and he went to rule in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
So Makida is a wise, beautiful woman that brought all the gifts.
Yeah.
And again, that's what I've tried to encapsulate in the oil. It's got papaya. It's got baobab. I'm sure you've heard of some of these oils.
Yeah, baobab I know from Kenya. It grows on the coast.
Yeah.
Amazing oil.
It's an amazing, really rich in omegas, in vitamin A, in vitamin E. Yeah. Actually called the tree of life in Africa
Tree of life,
it does everything. And some of those trees have been, they're like 3,000 or 4,000 years old.
Absolutely.
So they've been used for centuries, to moisturize skin.
Yeah.
It's got papaya, which also has great exfoliation benefits and skin renewal benefits. So papaya has, which papaya, the fruit, it's got papain in it, which is a great plant chemical that exfoliates the skin,
It's really nice on your neck, I have to say. That oil, I've been using it literally all over and like taking it right down to here.
It sinks in really quickly.
With sun damage across the chest, I think it's really excellent.
Yes. And so what I do is I just put a few drops on my hand, and then I rub it, my palms together, just to get the extracts and all the oils invigorated, and then I apply it to my face. Just I just dampen it on my face, and then over the neck, and and it's a very, very simple beauty routine.
Yeah.
So it's just it's part of our philosophy. It's simplifying beauty.
I also like using it on my hands and up the top of my arms, because I have noticed sun damage on the backs of my hands and arms as well, because if I'm out in the sun, I'll tend to cover up my shoulders, but often this bit gets exposed, and so putting some moisturiser back that again can help with pigmentation, I think is really helpful.
Yeah, and so it locks in all the hydration as well from the serum. So all the water gets locked in, and it just goes in deep into the dermis, the deeper parts of the skin, and then it replaces the oil that has been lost as well.
Nice. And then any left on your hands, you can also rub it through your hair, can't you? Just the ends of your hair if that's quite dry.
Yeah.
So many things. So your website, tell us again the name of your website, just so that people can know exactly.
So the website is Eco Skincare, EKO Skincare.
Yeah.
.co.uk.
And do you sell in stores, or are you all online?
Not yet.
Great, so this is an exclusive here. Yeah, for those online. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And what are you finding is your best seller at the moment?
I think it's Nefertiti, the serum. So lots of interest, but there's also a lot of interest in all the products. But I think Nefertiti.
Yeah.
I'll say Nefertiti.
It's really impressive. I have to say congrats and hats off to you, because it's not easy formulating, and it's a journey that I know well, and especially with botanicals, because botanicals are tricky things. It's very easy to do with synthetics. I used to joke with Kim that if we were ever going to do it again, we'd do a totally synthetic line, because it's just so easy. You mix up a few molecules in the lab and it's the same all the time. Whereas botanicals, as you know, they vary from year to year depending on the harvest and how they've been stored and how they've been picked and the variety of the plant. And, making sure that you're getting the best all the time is not easy, but you've managed to do that. So I guess your training and your heritage from Kew has really helped.
As well, or well grown, where possible.
Yeah.
And, make sure that we're working with the best quality plants.
Yeah.
That are grown in the best way as well. So ingredients differ in quality.
They do.
And I think
they really do.
People comment on the brand.
Yeah.
They comment on the quality of the oils and the quality of the serum.
I don't know what you think about this, but I was talking to some growers in Kenya when I was there earlier this year, and obviously they're on the equator, so the plants there are subject to a huge amount of stress, environmental stress. They have a massive amount of UV radiation. They're often grown at altitude. Nairobi is really, really high. I think it's one of the highest, if not the highest, capital city in the world. So, the outlying farm areas, you've got these crops that are subject to enormous environmental pressures. And because of that, they produce high levels of potently protective antioxidants and polyphenols to protect the plant, to keep it alive. Which is why when you source oils and materials like these plants from Africa, you get a more potent extract than you do if you were just growing something in a greenhouse in Kent, for example.
Absolutely. And it's that process, even the fact that the sun is actually, ripening the fruits or, on the leaves, and, that whole process, the journey. Eco itself means a farm it's the capital of Lagos. Eco is the Yoruba word for Lagos. Lagos is the capital of Nigeria and the biggest city in West Africa. So eco is actually means a farm or farm settlement in Yoruba.
I didn't know that.
And that is why I named the brand after.
That's great. And then it's got the double meaning, eco, because we think eco, ecological, environmental.
It's actually eco.
Eco.
The word is actually eco.
Eco, yes, okay, I should try and pronounce it properly. And of course, really important to support developing countries, and support subsistent farmers and those who are wild harvesting and putting back regenerative agriculture. I did a whole post actually on my Instagram this morning about supporting farmers, and this is a great way to do that. They can create something that's so concentrated. You don't have to use a huge amount of airspace to ship it, for example. It's it's small containers of really concentrated ingredients that you can use here in the UK.
Absolutely. So it's really important, the quality of the of whatever it is, because it's not just the ingredients; it's the quality of the process, the way it's grown, and also the ecosystem, as you've said, the ecosystem around the ingredients and the people, the communities that depend on these ingredients. Yeah, and we also use a lot of British ingredients as well, British botanicals.
Yeah, like the borage, for example. Yeah.
It used to be a wheat, right? Yeah. And it's now grown in the UK. Yeah. And even exported. So we just, and that is again part of the heritage of combining my British and my Nigerian heritage together, or my African heritage together, and developing the products.
Well done. Gold stars all round from me. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I wish you huge success with it. And just, lastly, all I would say is that it's a bit like food and cooking. And here I'm cooking a lot in Italy for the family. And the quality of the dish depends on the quality of the ingredients that you put in. It's that simple. And it is exactly the same with skincare. It's the quality. You get what you put in, basically. And you've put good stuff in, and we will certainly benefit from it. I wish you massive success with it. Thank you very much for our Liz Loves discount. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Take care. I shall follow your journey with much interest.
Thank you.
Very best of luck with it all. Thanks. Thank you. Bye for now. Bye-bye. So you just have to click off, otherwise, because if I click off, everybody disappears. You can see there's a little square at the top with a little cross. That will make you leave us. Thank you very much to Apinke. Brilliant. So that is Eco or Eco Botanicals, spelt that's for Instagram, and then the website is Eco or Eco Skincare, ekoskincare.co.uk. Did you know that Eco was the Nigerian name for the capital city of Nigeria, for Lagos? I did not know that. So yes, a fun fact for today that we can impress everybody with. Really lovely. I mean, very, very special indeed. So huge success wishes to Apinke and her beautiful brand. Lovely to have it explained by the fab female founder herself. Just a couple of quick things before I go. With the skincare theme, a couple of people have been asking me, well, more than a couple, quite a few people have been asking me about skin in the sun and sun care. This is a fab female founder brand. It is called Upcircle, and I've been using this while I've been here. It's their SPF 25 mineral sunscreen. This is what it looks like. And the reason it's called Upcircle is that they use a lot of recycled ingredients, like coffee grounds, for example, for a really great under-eye cream, which I've been using for rather a few late-night bags under the old eyes, not to mention a few glasses of Pinot Grigio, but anyway, we won't go there. So this is the mineral-based sunscreen. So you see, although it's mineral-based, you can see it's just disappeared into my skin. Love it. Really, really good. I've been using this. I've been using it on the kids as well. And that brand is Upcircle. You can find it at upcirclebeauty.com. Liz Loves give you 10% off everything. So that's just one of their products. They've got really, really good things, all based on sustainable and recycled ingredients. It's a really interesting website. So if you've got time, go and check it out. Okay, upcirclebeauty.com. Another great brand that was recommended to me a few months ago by a dermatologist friend is PCA Skin. And my team and I have been stalking this brand for a while to see whether we could get you a discount, and we have actually managed it. So pcaskin.co.uk, it's a great dermatological founder brand. Liz Loves gets you 10% off everything. I really like their SPFs. I've been using them here. This one is a broad spectrum SPF 45. So if you really want to up your game, then you can use the 45. And again, a little bit white, but not too much at all. Really, really good. Look, disappeared. And then if you want to go one step below that, there's an SPF 30, which is also really nice. And again, very light. And it has good broad spectrum. It's using zinc oxide and some other really good advanced skincare ingredients for broad spectrum coverage. By that I mean UVA, UVB. So anyway, check them out if you are looking at a new sun care line, if you're going away perhaps. And then they also have, where is it? Yeah, here we go. If you love the cooling effect of aloe vera and cucumber, this is a little lifesaver. I've got this in the fridge. It's Daily Defense Mist. And honestly, it's so cooling. Oh, it's great. Also smells really good. So thank you very much for PCA Skincare. So Liz Loves, 10% off pcaskin.co.uk. Lastly, just to say, here in Italy, I have brought my mask with me, my cell return mask, and also my neck array. Neck in the sun, yeah, really needs protecting, and this goes 360 all the way around. And I have Lily's Gold Serum as well, which I use at night. So she has warned us, as I've said before, that there is a price increase coming, sadly. Her masks are medical grade and they come from South Korea. And like so many things, raw material costs are going up and up and up. So she's got her current shipment in at the moment that she's holding at the regular price. So if you were looking at anything on sale return, this is the time to get it, because when the new shipment arrives, unfortunately, it is a little bit more expensive. And we do still have our discount code with her. It's slightly different. It's Liz Loves 21. We started it in 2021, so we've kept it the same. Liz Loves 21 gets you 10% off everything at salereturn.co.uk. But a warning, those prices will be going up relatively soon. Now, there's no live next week. I'm actually going to take a break. Proper break. I know it seems like I'm having a break here, and it's lovely to be here, but I am working all the time. So I'm actually going to take a week off, and I'm going to do a digital detox. I'm logging out of all my social media, all my comms. It's going to be, I don't know, I'm going to get the jitters probably. I shall miss everybody for sure. But yeah, I'm going to be off comms for a week. So I will be returning on Tuesday the 16th of August with a makeup live, talking about dark circles and shadows under the eyes and all of that. So not next week, but I will be here back on Tuesday the 16th. So until then, have a really good week. Stay safe in the sun. I hope everybody's having a really good time. Thank you. Thanks for all your kind words. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. We've got a fab newsletter. We've changed the format slightly, so I'd love to know what you think. So lizearlewellbeing.com. If you sign up for your free newsletter, it'll come to you tomorrow afternoon. My team press the button at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's ready for the weekend for your inbox. Always check your spam box, just in case it doesn't ping into your inbox. But do make sure that you're signed up. I've just been having a look at the one that's going out tomorrow, and it's really good. It's got the most amazing recipe for a Greek pie, which I'm going to make. I'm actually going to make it. I've got some girlfriends coming for lunch tomorrow, and I'm going to make it for them. So if you make anything, do tag me, and my team will reshare it, and I can also reshare it when I get back from my detox. Anyway, sending you lots of love. Nice to see you all. Take care. Bye-bye.